Good morning, good morning. My name is Mokhadi Rametse. I'm the CEO and the founder of KGB Services. Today I want us to talk about the tenders. We have a legislation that informs the tenders. We've got PFMA, which is Public Finance Management Act. We've got PPPFA, which is Preferential Procurement Public Framework Act. You need to know these things. So I'm going to just abbreviate them. Can you see? Preferential Procurement Public Framework Act. You have to be learned. Yeah. But I'm going to use the abbreviation. So these two legislation, PFMA and PPPFA, they work together in governance, making sure that organs of state and public entities, they adhere to a certain system before they can issue the tenders. So PFMA will give the guidelines so that the process is fair, the process is transparent, there's accountability there. And then while Preferential Procurement Public Framework Act will ensure that the public funds are spent correctly. There's accountability. There's no wasteful expenditure. We now and then hear the Auditor General talking about wasteful expenditure, etc. So the two legislation, they support each other. They work together. And they give us the base of how tenders are supposed to be. Whether they are like that or they are not like that, we don't know. And we as KGB Services, we want to go into government work. We haven't done any government work this far. We don't have any tender with the government, but we would like to get into government and really help the government, because we really cannot afford not to do business with government. We want to do business with government, but I'm not there today. Today I'm here on the process. So this is how the process will start. Let's talk about municipalities. So let's talk about maybe Tshwane. Tshwane will say we need tankers, or we need Amanskral. They don't have water. So we need a certain truck that can carry a tanker. And then the tanker must be so many liters, and the truck must be so many tons. Therefore, the bid specification committee, they're supposed to sit and design the requirements. They're supposed to sit and say, this is how this particular tender, we need so many trucks that can carry the tankers and that can whatever, all the specification to the T. So the work of the bid specification committee in their department is to come up with specification of each and every tender. If, for an instance, the Metro Police, they want new bulletproofs, or they want new boots or whatever, they will sit and draft those specifications. Once they have drafted the specification, it will be complete, and then the tender will go out. The tender will say, this is what we are looking for, etc., etc. And before that tender goes out, before the bid specification committee sign off, and my understanding is that the accounting officer is supposed to sign off that specification. So before it can be signed off, none of the public people are supposed to know about it. It's supposed to be an internal document, a confidential document, until such a time that the accounting officer has signed off the specification. I think that's what the intention of the policy is. So once that is done, then we go to the bid evaluation committee. Now the public has received that document. They're saying, on this day, we are supposed to be closing. On the 30th of April, today is the 30th of April, we are now closing the tender. Because we are closing the tender, people are submitting. Those submission goes to bid evaluation committee. The evaluation committee will sit down and evaluate one by one to say KGB services, they are compliant, CSD, tax clearance and all those things. And we're looking at their price, they are black, they've got youth, they've got women, etc., etc. And then when it comes to pricing and when it comes to that specification, functionality, technicality, they will look into that. And then they will give recommendation to the adjudication committee. At that time, once the bid evaluation has completed their work, I think it's supposed to still be kept confidential. So at the bid specification committee, the draft will not go out to anyone until such a time it becomes a final document signed off by the accounting officer. At the evaluation committee, as soon as they are done and they have given their recommendation, it's supposed to be kept confidential. So confidentiality is key. The only document that is public this far is that tender document that is out. Then this committee gives their recommendation to bid evaluation committee, bid adjudication committee. The bid adjudication committee, they're going to take a decision of saying, when we look at the technicality and the functionality and the price and all those things that they look at, okay, we see that company A is more relevant. They can deliver at a good price and their experience and whatever, because they're taking recommendation from a committee that is independent. So all these committees are supposed to act independent without interference. Impartiality becomes key, confidentiality becomes key to each and every committee. So once the bid adjudication, once the bid adjudication committee has decided on who is most suitable to deliver, because they have looked at the requirements that were set when initially by the specification committee, and now they looked at the recommendation and they're saying this particular company qualifies, and when we look at it, indeed we can confirm what the evaluation committee has done to say yes, this one can be the one that can deliver according to the specification. They then give the recommendation to the accounting officer to sign off, to say we are appointing this particular entity to come and deliver this particular service. That is the understanding of how the tender process is supposed to be. When did we allow the tender process not to go like that? I don't know. What are we doing? Why are we bypassing? Why are we not being transparent? Why other people are getting documents while they're still at the draft stage? What do they have to do with the requirements? I really don't know. But I think government needs to look at these people and vet them and make sure that they don't have anyone who works there, they are not having they're not having personal interest and companies that they are bringing into, because other people are getting, even at the draft level, can we protect our legislation? These legislations are there for a specific reason, so we need to protect it. We need to make sure that we bring confidentiality, ethics and impartiality and everything that we need into this, so that our government can function well. Now we are seeing infrastructure is not going anywhere because wrong people were appointed. The service delivery in our country is not at the standard we want because wrong people are not delivering. The people are appointed without competencies. I beg, let's honor our legislation and go according to it. Thank you so much. I think